In this video, I'll show you how to fully analyze the standard and factored form of a quadratic equation. This is question 2. The question is asking us to complete the table below for the equation y is equal to negative 2x squared plus 4x plus 16. As we did in question 1, we discussed that the easiest of these 5 things that they're looking for is to answer the direction of opening. And to do that, you have to locate your a term in the equation. This right here represents the a term, and the a term is defined as the term that has the x squared component in the equation. So notice that our coefficient here is a negative 2 for this x squared term. And since it's a negative 2, that means that our parabola will be opening downwards. So to answer this part, we'll write down. The next easiest part to answer is the y-intercept. And to find your y-intercept, you set x equal to 0. So if we set x equal to 0, we end up with y is equal to negative 2 times 0 to the power of 2 plus 4 times 0 plus 16. This goes to 0, this goes to 0, and we're left with positive 16, specifically 0 and positive 16. Now, in order for us to find the x-intercepts of this equation, we can do one of two things. We could A, try to factor it and then set it equal to 0, or B, use the quadratic formula. The quadratic formula is a little bit involved, so I'll use factoring, especially since they're also asking for the factored form. Makes sense. So I'm looking at this equation now, and I'm asking myself, what is common in all 3 terms? I want to common factor this before I actually factor it fully. What's common in all 3 terms is that they all share a negative 2. So technically, I can pull out a negative 2 from all 3 of these terms, and that would be my first step to factoring. So let's go ahead and do that. If I pull out a negative 2, y is equal to negative 2x squared. This becomes negative 2x, and this becomes negative 8. So now what I have is a monomial multiplied to this quadratic trinomial. The next thing that I'll try to do is find 2 numbers that multiply to negative 8 and add to negative 2. Are there 2 numbers that multiply to negative 8 and add to negative 2? Well, let's try negative 4 and positive 2. If I multiply negative 4 times positive 2, I end up with negative 8. And if I add negative 4 to positive 2, I end up with also negative 2. So this is the right combination. Once you have found the right combination, you want to break this trinomial down into 2 sets of brackets, like this. The independent variable here is x, so place it in both of these brackets and put minus 4 and plus 2. There you have it. This equation right here represents the factored form of the original standard form equation. Let me write this in. Now I said earlier on that in order to find the x-intercepts using the factored form, you have to set it equal to 0. So that's my next step. I'm going to set this equation equal to 0, and then I'll solve for both of these x's. To solve for this x minus 4, I set this equal to 0, and I end up with positive 4. And if I solve for this x plus 2 is equal to 0, I end up with negative 2. So specifically, our x-intercepts will be at 4 and 0 and negative 2 and 0. You're probably curious as to why I put 0 as my y-coordinate for both of these points. Well, remember, I'm setting y is equal to 0, so it makes sense that the y-coordinates are 0. Our last step is to find the axis of symmetry. And to do that, what we have to do is find the middle point between 4 and negative 2. To find the middle point, you will take the average of these 2 numbers. So 4 plus minus 2 divided by 2. 4 plus negative 2 gives us positive 2 divided by 2 is equal to 1. So the axis of symmetry is at 1. Now it's important to mention that some teachers might also want the vertex. To find the vertex, you take your axis of symmetry and plug it into the standard form. So let's go ahead and do that, even though they're not asking for it. Negative 2 times 1 to the power of 2 plus 4 times 1 plus 16. And this gives us a y-coordinate of 18. And there is our vertex, and this is our axis of symmetry. So there you have it. That is how to fully analyze the standard and factored form of a quadratic equation. If you found this tutorial helpful, please support our channel by subscribing or by liking this video. If you have any further questions, visit our website at studyforce.com. We're an online service for students seeking free homework help. See you soon.